welcome back to Starkey, Farmstead. So my name is Samantha. All right, my soldier's on his way. So this was me 45 minutes ago, but I took my mom to eat lunch afterwards, and I am doing better. Thank you guys for your prayers. Today I want to talk to you about something. So here is the thing. Inclusivity is not inclusive. It actually excludes people. And it is not our greatest strength to have multiculturalism in our country. Now, let me make my point before you go decide you don't want to hear this because it's nonsense or you know better. You never allow 1% or even the minority to call the shots. That is not how things are done. You are only as strong as your weakest link.
The dumbest phrases in military history is our diversity is our strength. Our diversity is not our strength. Our unity and our shared purpose is our strength. And the Pentagon is excited to get back to that core mission. It's happening rapidly. The services are responding, and those that don't want to respond can work somewhere else. So
the day that it was more important to include a man who had mental issues and a fully intact sack in spaces where women belong to make him feel included was the day you excluded who that space was actually for. Women. Biological females. Okay? And the day that you decided that a sorority could not be for just females anymore because there's a man that believes he is a woman that wants into that space and you must include him. The day you did that, you excluded the purpose of that sorority, which was a place, a safe place for women to network and bond.
If you exclude trans women from womanhood, I actually hate you. I actually hate you, and you are the worst type of woman, and don't even claim that you're involved in womanhood because you're not. You're not in any way at all. You are not an empowering woman, and you are not a happy, satisfied, independent, strong woman if you shit on and bring down other women. Just because they do.
All right? It's the same thing with sports. The moment you included failed male athletes into women's spaces, you excluded the scholarships and the safety of those women. Multiculturalism is not a strength. No. It actually says in the Bible that the Lord created nations the way he wanted. Okay? And we have different ways of governing our countries. It does not make your constitutional republic stronger to allow in 20% illegal aliens from countries that are socialist countries or communist countries into your constitutional republic. It does not strengthen your constitutional republic. America is not a melting pot. America has its own culture, its own constitution, and it is a sovereign country. It is a Christian country.
Get this word multiculturalism shoved down our throat. But the truth is, multicultures in a single country doesn't work. And we've seen that it doesn't work. And if people want to come and enjoy the great pleasure of living and working in the United Kingdom, then they have to do so on the basis that they are going to recognise and empathise with and understand and operate under the basis of British values, British law, and the British culture. And we don't want people coming here who say they're not going to integrate, they're not going to work, they're not going to speak our language. Oh, and for good measure, they might quite fancy a few Sharia courts here and there. No.
And if you want to come to this country, then you have to live by our laws and abide by what we culturally accept. Now, my son is being deployed to the Middle East. One of the things his father was explaining to him was pedophilia is very rampant in places like Iraq, in Iran and Afghanistan. And he said, son, even though we fought with some of these people who are our allies in some of the wars that we fought in the Middle East in the last 20, 30 years, we would be in the barracks and these men would be performing pedophilia, child abuse acts, and the American soldiers would flip out. They would flip out because this is not allowed in America. But you were in their country, and it is. Just want to make that point to you guys. Taking in the entire world because it makes you feel good is not a good thing. So I hear Democrats all the time on all these different social media platforms say things like this. I don't talk to my mom anymore because, you know, she's racist. She's a conservative. So I've cut her out of my kids' lives because I don't want that influence.
Then listen to one more second of all this bitching and moaning.
To be at home all by myself, not in this room with people who don't even care about my well-being.
You're okay with cutting your own biological mother out of your life because she doesn't agree with you politically, but you'll let in people from countries that probably would not agree with you politically, would not agree with you about sleeping with children is wrong. They don't have the same women's rights that you believe in, but you're okay with that. Somehow you can't see how hypocritical that is. So I wanted to make this video for you guys because later today and this week I'm really going to start doing some deep dive research into some of these federal attorneys that are fighting against the Trump administration, especially where U.S. aid and illegal immigration is concerned, because almost all of them are either through their wife or their daughters are tied to nonprofits that make money through either illegal immigration or U.S. aid funded. And all of that is also connected to George Soros, and Carl Schwab, because they're all connected, folks. They are all connected. So I just wanted to put this video out there to remind people what we here at Starkey Farmstead are fighting against. Folks, our mission, what is the mission of this channel? It is spread the gospel of Jesus Christ. It is to spread truth. It is to call out the hypocrisy of the left, to point out the insanity behind what these people believe. It is to constantly remind you that you are going where you are looking and you are going to become what you are listening to. So even though I can be snarky, especially in my comments and my replies, and even though I don't allow the nonsense on my channel that a lot of other 100,000 plus size YouTube channels allow, it's my right. I don't want to read your comment. And if I don't want to read your comment, I know others do not want to read your comment, so I'll just block you. Because having you comment on my video isn't going to change much with the algorithm. I'm shadow banned. I mean, we are growing hundreds and hundreds almost daily, but still we fight against the shadow ban. Recently, they told me my content was dangerous. So if you would like to see content that is not afraid to be spoken truthfully and to see these types of things deep dove so that we can bring awareness to people who are borderline Democrats. They're not going to force transgenderism on their children, and they do consider themselves Christians, but their whole family has always voted Democrat and they just can't see their way out. Just remember this. There was a Democrat president that started the Department of Education. It was Democrats that started the KKK. It was Democrats that fought against women having the right to vote. And no, the political parties never swapped. That's also BS. It is the same Southern Democrats sitting in the North now. They didn't swap political parties. They swapped where they were in the country. And then they told you guys, oh, it was always the Democrats that did this. The political party swapped. No, where the Democrats lived swapped. not the party itself. Like, comment, subscribe. Tell me what you think. Tell me where you have seen the left's hypocrisy recently. And thank you guys so much for being with me today as I told my soldier bye. Because this military mama is going to fight to bring awareness, to save this country, to stop more wars, to save my children and yours. Love you guys.